Hi everybody, this is Angel Arts, and for those of you who have been following along with the selection process for the Dragon Age Season 2 campaign, this is it. As of this recording, I just finished the Mass Effect finale yesterday, which I'm definitely looking forward to posting officially on YouTube soon. But now, because of that, I can start focusing more on the next campaign that I will be GMing. This is by far the part of the selection process that I dread the most, obviously. And it's taken a lot of thinking and rethinking and double thinking, and it's just been a whole arduous process going back and forth, trying to figure out who ends up in the final roster and who does not. First and foremost, please, for those of you who have been auditioning, please understand that this was not an easy decision for me to make. I mean, you've seen everyone's interview, so you know from based on watching everybody's amazing performances, you know my pain. If I could take all of you into the campaign, I would. And I kind of already did that with the Mass Effect campaigns, sort of. And that was just, I just can't do it anymore. It was way too much. I'm glad that I did it with the Mass Effect campaign once, because I was really happy with the results of the story from doing it that way. But that ended up spreading myself way too thin in order to compensate, and I just can't do that to myself again. I had to promise myself that that's not something I'm realistically going to be able to do, at least not anytime soon. And keep in mind that if you didn't get in to this campaign, regardless of whether or not you made it into the finalist section, this is not the last of the campaigns that I'm planning on doing. I actually have thought of at least 4, 5, or 6 more campaigns that I would love to do in the next several years. So please keep trying, keep auditioning, because this is not going to be the last opportunity. The last thing I wanted to say before I start getting to the results is that my buddy Gavin, if you remember, he was one of the earlier auditioners from Ireland, my fellow ginger friend from Ireland. He actually has been dungeon mastering himself, and he reached out to me to let me know that anyone from the auditioners who didn't make it onto my campaign, he actually is offering to start up and DM his own Dragon Age tabletop campaign. So I'm going to put a link down at the bottom, or maybe somewhere in the side. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put a link somewhere in this screen, because he actually has a video that he prepared making this offer formally to anyone who wants an opportunity to still play the campaign. So definitely go to that video and get in contact with him, and maybe this will be a great way for you to still be able to play in a campaign if you weren't able to get into this one. So my greatest, deepest appreciation to Gavin for doing that, because that's a really generous offer, and it's just so sweet of him to be able to want to provide this for people. For all of you candidates who didn't make it in, don't be discouraged. I love you, and let's just enjoy whatever Dragon Age Season 2 has to bring with us, regardless of who is in or not. I think that the auditioneers established an amazing community with each other, and have been so supportive with each other. Let's continue that. Let's continue that supportive nature, not only, of course, towards the people who got in, but also towards the people who didn't this time. I think moving forward, that is a wonderful way. What a great way, I think, to start this next season off on the right foot. So thank you again for being the type of community that made this whole thing feel like not a competition. This is not a competition. And you guys made it feel like something more than that. So thank you. So let's start getting to the actual names. Again, the the final people that ended up in the roster was based on a number of different factors. One, of course, was the feedback that you guys were leaving on people's interviews. Another one was the number of likes. That it wasn't an end-all be-all into determining who would end up in the group. It was just giving me some feedback. A huge part of determining who ended up in the group was also feedback from the auditioners themselves, because I actually asked every one of the candidates, if you could pick the other players yourself, if you could pick who you would want to play with, who would you pick? And those lists, when I started cross-referencing them, I started seeing some really interesting trends, and that also was a big factor. And then lastly, of course, are all of my thoughts and all of my inputs on each of the different people, and that's just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of factors alone that I use to tip the scales to figure out one way or another who ends up on what side of the line. Okay, so here are the names once and for all, in no particular order. Hannah, Kimberly, Rachel, Sam, and I have one more. This is going to be a roster of 5. I couldn't pick just 4. 4 was way too hard. 5 was already way too hard. I wanted to do 6 or 7, but I have to keep it down at 5. Kevin. So there you have it, your heroes for the next generation of the Dragon Age tabletop campaign. Congratulations to the 5 of you. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and getting to know you a bit more personally throughout the course of the year. I know that together we'll be able to craft an amazing story and have an awesome experience with each other throughout the year. So this is just the beginning. Alright guys, thank you again for watching, and until next time, love yourselves and love each other. Mwah.